Her hands trembled as she held the old yellowed letter, the ink fading, the paper soft from being folded and unfolded countless times. Tears streamed down the old man's cheeks as he sat alone in the corner booth, his wrinkled hands gripping the letter like it was the only thing keeping him alive. The lunchtime chatter around him faded into a dull hum, and for a moment the world seemed to stop. "Sir, are you all right?" asked Maya, the young waitress, her voice soft with concern. She was in her late 20s with warm brown eyes and dark curls tied into a loose bun. She'd seen all kinds of customers in her small-town diner, but none like this, none who carried such visible sorrow. The old man looked up slowly, his gray eyes glistening. "Do you ever wonder," he whispered, his voice fragile, "what happens to love that never got its goodbye?" Before moving forward, please like and subscribe. Your support helps us keep sharing love, hope, and humanity through every story. Maya froze. The question hung in the air like smoke, heavy and lingering. She didn't know what to say, only that this man's pain felt like something sacred, something she shouldn't walk away from. He looked back down at the letter. "Her name was Claire," he murmured. "She wrote this to me 70 years ago." Before Maya could respond, another customer called out for their order. She hesitated, torn between duty and empathy, but her heart wouldn't let her walk away. She slid into the booth across from him. "Tell me about her," she said softly. He smiled faintly, the kind of smile that comes from a wound that never healed. "She was the only reason I came home from the war," he said. "At least I thought I did." Back in 1944, William Carter was just a 19-year-old farm boy from Kansas who'd never left home. Then came the draft, and before he knew it, he was on a ship bound for Europe, carrying a photograph of Claire, a girl with chestnut hair, kind eyes, and a smile that could outshine the sun. They'd grown up together, fallen in love under apple trees, and promised to marry when he returned. But war changes people. For months, letters came and went, hers filled with hope, his filled with longing, until one day the letters stopped. He came home 2 years later, broken but alive. He went straight to her house, only to find it empty. Her family had moved, no forwarding address, no explanation. All he found was one unopened letter left in the mailbox with his name on it. It was the one he held now. "She thought I'd died," he said, his voice cracking. "And when I came back, she was gone." Maya's throat tightened. "You never found her?" He shook his head slowly. "I tried for years. But it was a different time. No phones, no internet, just silence. I joined the Postal Service eventually. Funny enough, delivering letters I never got." Maya's eyes shimmered. "You still carry her letters?" "Every one of them," he whispered. "When you lose someone that way, you start carrying them instead." He opened the small box beside him, filled with envelopes tied neatly with a ribbon. The scent of old paper and perfume drifted faintly, like ghosts of the past refusing to fade. As Maya listened, something stirred deep inside her. She'd always believed love was temporary, that people moved on, forgot, rebuilt. But here was a man who had loved the same woman for 70 years without seeing her face again. Her chest tightened. "Mr. Carter," she said softly, "if you don't mind me asking, why today? Why are you reading them now?" He smiled weakly. "Because yesterday I got a letter back." Her eyes widened. "A letter?" He nodded and pulled out a new envelope, cleaner than the rest. The return address read, "Claire Henderson, Willow Pines Nursing Home. I wrote to her every year, even after I stopped getting replies," he said, his voice trembling. "This morning I got this one." Maya covered her mouth as he opened the letter and began to read aloud. "Dear William, if you're reading this, it means I finally got brave enough to answer you. I never stopped loving you, even when I thought you were gone. I'm old now, and time hasn't been kind, but I still dream of the boy who promised to come home. If you still remember me, maybe we can have that dance we never got." Claire, a tear fell from his cheek onto the paper. "She's alive," he whispered, almost in disbelief. Maya's heart swelled. "Then you have to go see her," she said urgently. He looked up, his smile small but alive for the first time. "That's why I came here," he said. "I'm on my way to her. I just needed a minute to find the courage." Maya reached across the table and held his hand. "You've waited long enough, Mr. Carter. Go to her." He stood slowly, gathering his letters with trembling hands. Maya followed him to the door, watching as he stepped out into the sunlight, his old military cap slightly tilted, his back straighter than it had been when he arrived. She didn't know if she'd ever see him again, but she hoped with everything in her heart that he'd find her. 2 weeks later, a postcard arrived at the diner. It was addressed to Maya, the kind waitress with the curious heart. "Dear Maya, you were right. I found her. She still had the photograph I gave her before the war. We danced in the courtyard like no time had passed. Thank you for reminding me that love never really dies. It just waits to be found again. William and Claire." Maya smiled through tears as she tucked the postcard under the counter. She looked out at the corner booth where he'd once sat, now empty, and whispered, "Guess love always finds its way home."